Hey guys, Matt Bishop here. We are backstage at the Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Festival here in Camden, New Jersey, and I am graced with the presence of GingerFish, drummer of RobZombie. Thank you for joining me, man. I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks.
How's the tour been going so far?
It's been really smooth, to say the least. Being a festival, you know, usually festivals are like just get up, go, and whatever happens, happens. Rob employs some of the most professional people on the planet, so when things are right, they're just really right. And when things need to get fixed, they get really fixed quickly. But in my world, it's been really smooth. So I've got the greatest tech. Davey, my tech, is the greatest tech in the world, and just can almost read my mind, it seems. Knows what's going on, and I mean, we just have to look at each other and know if something's right. So it's been really smooth for the start so far.
How has the crowd response been to you guys being the headliners this year at Zombie's first time headlining Mayhem Fest? What has the crowd's been like? Have you guys noticed that it's been just exceptionally energetic?
It's hard to say, being the drummer, because I'm so far behind everything, and I have a slight tendency to say I'm a little nearsighted, so I don't see too far out into the crowd. So it's hard to tell. Sometimes I feel like we had the greatest show in the world, and then the other guys would be like, yeah, the crowd was so-so. And then other nights, however, I thought, yeah, it was okay. And everyone was like, the crowd was so into it. So it's hard for me to tell, being the stance of where I'm sitting. So,
well, I'll tell you after tonight. I'll be out in the crowd. I'm going to shoot photos, and then I'll let you know.
There you go. I know I've seen I don't see anybody leaving, so that's always a good thing.
That's always a good sign.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone walk away. And then there's been a couple nights where the storms have hit, and I've had to just like run off stage right through the crowd, because I have a brand new video camera sitting out front. So I'll just go flying for it because I don't want to get destroyed. So it's been pretty cool. People tend to stay away from me. I think I have a switch that says talk to me or don't talk to me, and I'm pretty in control of that. So I'm lucky in that aspect.
A really cool thing for me, I saw you guys last year at Rock on the Range, and Rob actually made a very special introduction for you. He said, you know, I'd like to introduce you guys to the newest Zombie, and the place just went ballistic, and you did a kick-ass drum solo. What was that moment like?
It's cool to get recognized, obviously. I mean, I've been doing this for decades, and it's never been like that. So to have someone like that grab you and pick you up and say, hey, check this out, it's one of the coolest feelings in the world. I have friends that talk about that, about, you know, seeing a limo pull up and the Stones would get out, the whole entourage of people, they'd be like, that's a party I want to join, you know, and it's really cool like that. And other bands I've been in, however, are very segregated, so people are like in separate worlds, and it's not really that party atmosphere. So this camp, you know, everyone does their appointed job over the top. They have extra things. Everyone does extra things, but it's a team that just, you know, respects everyone's space and let everyone do their thing that they do well, and it's great to get recognized for it.
What is it like for you guys getting ready for a live show? Obviously, there's so much going on. You guys put on such an electric performance, you know, with your dress and your makeup. And what is it like, kind of getting into the zone and becoming those characters?
It's a good question, because obviously, the show is so massive that I don't have a lot to do with it. You know, like, I mean, Rob's on the phone from 6 a.m. all day talking, discussing things with people and getting this done and that done, and you know, this is, every time we go out, it seems like there's bigger props and bigger explosions and bigger things going on that, obviously, again, being the drummer, I don't really have to worry too much about that kind of stuff. The whole thing starts with me with the band, you know, calling up and saying, hey, we're going to come over your house at 11 in the morning and practice. So that's where it starts with me. It's like waking up, opening the door, and everyone just getting ready to jam, and I'm just half awake thinking I can remember everything. You know, that's a whole different world, you know, because I'm used to late nights, and this band is like so productive and work-based. It's all business. So it's I want to say, I've always said it's just been a growing up. It's like you're a kid and you have fun in the day, but eventually you have to grow up. And this band is definitely a point of my growth in life. So I've gone a long way in the last couple of years. So hopefully I'm more mature.
Well, this is your first album with Zombie. A Venomous Rat Regeneration Vendor is out now on Universal Music. What would you say that this has kind of been a real growing experience for you as a musician? Have you kind of expanded, not only your talents, but, kind of your mental aspect as well?
It's hard to say because done, like I said, every single time you do an album, it's a completely different project. Like some people think, you sit in a room, you write a bunch of songs, whatever, and then you practice, you get in the studio, you record. In the old days, start a tape machine, play, record, whatever. That's the way it goes, whatever. I wasn't around for the last album, which I hear was a completely different setup than this album. This album, we weren't sure if we were going to do it on the East Coast or the West Coast, and it was like, they started working at Rob's ranch in Connecticut, and then they give me the call or whatever and say, hey, get Premier to send some drums over here, and we're going to fly you out, Monday or something like that. And it was like, okay, just fly out there, and, jam through a dozen songs or whatever, and then take some time off or whatever, so I'd fly home, and then, next thing I know, the album's done. It's like, I thought I had like 2 or 3 more sessions to do, and that was time. I'm used to like, you work on a pre-production of an album for a year, and then you record for 3 months to however long, and then you go into mix down, and that's a 3-month period, and it's a whole long process of build up, or whatever. This was like, boom, bam, in, out, gone, and it was done. It was amazing, and Rob's with most of the things he does. I think. I mean, he shocked the hell out of me because we did the first video for the album, and showed up at like 8. I think everyone else was there at 6 to set up. Get there around 8, and forgot a couple things. I'll just run home because I was only 15 minutes away. It was downtown LA. Run home, get some stuff, come back. By 6 o'clock, 6:37, shoot's done. Album, they finished the video like a half a day.
Wow.
And again, shocked because I'm used to 2 days of video shoot. Half the shots don't get actual filmed. They're not actually completed. When you get the board and everything is said, we're gonna do this. And I'm so used to it, you're not completing everything you plan on doing. And Rob, boom, gets in there, gets it all done, and half the day we're ready to go home for dinner. It's amazing.
I think it's really a testament to you guys, though, the band. When Rob started putting together this lineup, he brought in John and you and Piggy, and I just said, wow. And just when you joined the band, I was like, this is it, man. Like, this is like the cream of the crop. And you guys have been around the block numerous times, each of you, and I think bringing it all together, you guys know what the deal is, and you're the best in the business. And I think that's what helps. That's why things go so smoothly, And it's also, Rob, as you mentioned, surrounds himself with good people. But I think it's a testament to you guys just getting it done and being good,
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a question, like I said, because it is hit or miss. People come in a band and you go, I can't be around this person. Other people have different lifestyles. Other people, I've seen everything. I've seen, the family. Your brother pisses me off. There's so many situations that can go wrong when you put a bunch of guys on a bus together, and it's really hit or miss if you're gonna get along. Obviously, John and I are best friends for for a long time, so kind of knew what we were getting into with that. Rob didn't know me, Piggy didn't know me, whatever, but this is actually weird to me because I'm used to being very quiet, not talking. So to actually talk and do interviews is a strange, very out of my comfort zone. I'm used to, I grew up with the whole drummers are to be seen and not heard, so don't speak. So that's what I just got used to. But to be thrown into like this or whatever, it's like speak, and it's like they said do what you fear the most, and it's a way of growing, I guess. So this is definitely a growing point in my life.
Well, with that being said, I really appreciate you sitting down with me now. And where I sit, I enjoy talking to different people in the band. You know, it doesn't always have to be the stereotypical of the front man or the lead guitarist. You know, I want to talk to the bass player, the drummer, the keyboardist if there is one. You know, whoever. I just like getting different perspectives on things and hearing what people think about the album and the tour, and you know, that's what all the fun's about. You know, and I think it's great for the fans. They want to hear what somebody that maybe doesn't always voice their opinion thinks. You know, and I think that's what's great about stuff like this.
Yeah, I think the tour has been it's been really fun. They've been doing parties almost every night, which is not normal in the rock industry or whatever. But I think the last time we were in, they just did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles party, and everyone was wearing the masks and stuff.
Nice.
And you know, we've discussed doing a Jaws themed party, and there's just different parties. I think I'm going to DJ on Sunday. I'm a VJ actually, so I spin videos. So
okay.
I'm going to spin some videos or whatever, and you know, throw in some rock, throw in some 80s, just have some fun, and it should be an interesting night.
Very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to tonight, my friend. I greatly appreciate you taking the time. Do we have to cross again on this tour?
It's hit or miss. Like I've done it before, and then I've tried other makeups, and they're like, I think you should go back to the cross. So it's been hit or miss.
Right.
I've done it reversal, where the cross was white and the face was black, and I was like, no, you can't do that again. But that took a lot of work. My tech was actually talking to me about doing the skull face or whatever that we do when we DJ.
Okay.
So it's hard to say. That's a question with the whole stylist. You hire stylists to come in and style the band.
Yeah.
And wear this, whatever. And got a few $100s worth of stage clothes for this tour, whatever. And then after you put it on or whatever, the whole band's like, nah, I don't think so.
And you're like, oh, come on. What the fuck?
It's like, no, the fur, I think you wait on the fur. I don't think fur is really right for this, you know. So the band definitely is in control of what they're doing or whatever. It's not so much the outside world, but it should be interesting. I'll try to sneak in some of those new clothes things. You know, behind the drums, you think anyone would see me and notice anyhow.
I brought my long lens. I'm ready. So whatever you got, I'm capturing it.
gotta get some color into the whole set. Now that it's clear, so it's the funniest thing to have a clear drum set or whatever. And I'm all taped up. I got my headset in, and I'm playing whatever. And I've had it where I've taken my headset off and ran backstage. Next thing I know, I hear some singer starting a song. I'm like, holy crap! I go running back to stage, whatever. And I've literally ran to stage and jumped just to hit the downbeat, whatever. It's just crazy. But I don't even know where I was going with that.
We were just talking about just being on stage and the presence and the makeup, the costumes.
That's so funny. I had a point to make, and I talked myself right out of the point. So I don't even know where we were going with that.
Yeah, that's all. I asked you if you had the cross going.
Oh, I know what I was talking about.
Yeah. Oh.
So this tour or whatever, I'm all strapped up. I have been backstage when the band started a song, and I'm never doing that again. Stage manager walks up or whatever and goes, okay, we're done, get off. So you listen to the crew, you get off and you walk away. I'm backstage, next thing I hear, all right, people. They're starting the song without me. So I don't trust anybody. I don't care who it is. I don't trust anybody to tell me leave, unless it's the singer Rob himself or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I'll just sit there. I'll just hide behind my drum set or whatever if I have to during breaks or whatever. And John will do a solo or something, and I'll just hide behind the set and stuff like that. And now I got a clear drum set and they got lights on it. So
Oh, jeez.
I'm I'm trying to hide behind my drum set, and it's just clear and it's lit up. I'm like,
oh man,
doesn't work. So I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Luckily, there's a couple props that run in front of me or whatever, so I'm like, oh, hopefully no one really knows. I've seen people online or whatever go, what the hell's Ginger doing back there? People notice me like trying to crouch down behind my set. It's like, it's you know, always be prepared issue.
Yeah.
They go, you better be ready. So it's been good.
Where are you guys headed after Mayhem? I know we were talking a little bit. You guys are playing Sturgis.
Yeah, we go to
Big Bike
Sturgis,
Festival.
and after that we go to Montreal. I think it's called Heavy
Montreal. Yeah, that's going to be great. It's you guys and Avenge and Godsmack, and that'll be like a family reunion up there.
I haven't seen the full lineup. Montreal's beautiful, so I like going up there. And then we have a couple weeks off, and then we go to Rio for Rock in Rio, which is like a week long.
That's crazy. So, everybody's going to be there.
Yeah. So I haven't found out yet what's going to go after that. You know, because my wife's been talking about flying to Rio and just hanging out for a week, whatever. So we'll do the show, we'll be done. You plan on staying in Rio, and then the band decides they're going to Chile. You know, so it's like,
yeah,
you can't really plan. You know, so we'll see what happens from that. Other than you know, Rob's got his first big event, the Great American Nightmare in Hollywood, whatever. So that's going to be all Halloween time. So I think we play the end of that. I think we're near the end. I think. You know, I've heard rumors, people rumoring about the possibility of maybe VJing on certain nights or whatever. Just
that'll be cool.
So that could be a welcome surprise. It's close enough to home and stuff to, you know, throw some fun in there every now and then. So we'll see.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then your guess is as good as mine from that point on.
All right. I say North American tour, but headlining.
Yeah, well,
let's do it.
I said we got to do America. We got to go to Europe again. Mm-hmm. They're waiting for that. And obviously Australia. I think it was Soundwaves around February or something.
I think so. Yeah, like February, March.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Rob did it last year, so I don't know if he'll do it this year. But that's always a big, you know, Australian event. I've never been down there. So that's fun.
Last question for you. Is there a drum solo tonight?
That's a good question. I always say, if we're running out of time, there doesn't have to be. It's not a big deal. You know? I was never once the drum soloist. Mm-hmm. Like, it's funny because I grew up in high school where I used to play. There was pop bands in my high school. I'd be playing in the pop band, and I'd tell my friends, I'm gonna go bust out a drum solo right in the middle of the song. And my fans will all be sitting in the audience waiting for me to like bust out a solo, and I didn't have the balls to do it. I'm not going to screw up. I mean, I'm pro enough. The teacher wants this. I'm not going to throw him a bone or whatever. So it never was really my thing. And then I read an interview with Stuart Copeland. Stuart Copeland from the Police did an interview. And one of the big quotes he said in the whole interview was, I've never done a drum solo my entire life. That's how important they are to a career in music.
That's a good point.
Many drummers, you can work your whole life and never do a drum solo. And then there's other people that call for it. Rob is the first person that I've ever done the solos for, and it purely came out of, we need time for set changes, so it's just like, you know, a little interlude for some changes to happen, whatever. So chances are there's one in the set, but then if there's a curfew or they say we gotta break down or drop a song or something, I'm the first to volunteer the solo. You can drop the solo, it's fine with me. But I've got simple little thing, interlude to prepare, so if they need it, it'll be there.
Sounds good. Well, I hope we need it because I'm looking forward to it, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. GingerFish of RobZombie, ladies and gentlemen. Venomous Rat Regeneration Bender is out now on Universal Music, so go grab a copy if you haven't already. Catch the band on the Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Festival all summer long. And American Band, call your local radio stations and request it, the newest single from RobZombie. Crank it up.